Today we will be working on 1.7. This is the last assignment in this first chapter, and then tomorrow we're going to be doing the review. So if you get done in class today, go ahead and start working on the review instead of your pie, and then we'll also work on the review tomorrow. Okay. Today we're going to learn about order of operations. Hopefully you already know what order of operations are. We're going to do a review of that, and you might have heard, that's not a P, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I don't like this. Anyway, I don't really like this because it puts multiplication above division and it puts addition above subtraction, but they're really the same. So the one that I like to use, and there is a sign up on the door, up on the wall, that was here when I got here, and I'm too short to get up there and take it down. So I like pedal. So parentheses, exponents, and then the D is division and multiplication, because they're really equal in terms of order of operations, and then addition and subtraction, and then left to right. So what order you do division and multiplication? You do all the division and multiplication from left to right, then you do all the addition and subtraction from left to right. Does that make sense? Okay. No, it's just pedal. Pedal. And I like pedal because when we get to solving, that there's no M. Please excuse dear Aunt Lucy. Okay, sure. So if I had something simple like 3 plus 2 times 4, what is the first operation I need to complete? The multiplication. That would be step 1. Oops, step 1. And then the addition would be step 2. Why does it matter? Why do we care? Yes, and why did the math people care? It's not. Good. So if we follow the steps, 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 plus 8 is 11. But if you do the order of operations in the wrong order, 3 plus 2 is 6, and 6 times 4 is 24, and we get different answers. Now, it may seem to you a bit arbitrary of why we follow the particular order, and you might think, well, if we would just use a different order and everybody did it the same way, then we would be okay. But the order we have chosen has to be that way because of the rules that we've agreed on in mathematics. So it's not really arbitrary. The order is important, not just so everybody gets the same answer, but if you were actually counting and building things, then if you did, anyway, the physical world around us has dictated which order we need to do these. Okay, so what about 3 times 1 minus 4? So, but that is a subtraction. So a subtraction is step 1? Yes, because it's inside a set of parentheses. So every time you have a set of parentheses, you do all of pedal inside that parentheses until you're finished. And then you can move outside. So this would be step 2. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. We good with that? Okay. What does 4 to the third mean? 4 times 4 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. Okay. Well, what about 1 minus 2 times 18 minus 4 squared? What is operation number 1? 4 squared. So we have a set of parentheses. We look in there first. We perform all of petal inside that set of parentheses, and then we move outside. So 4 squared is step 1, and then this is step 2, and then 3, and then 4. Okay. 4 squared is 16. 18 minus 16 is 2. And now negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. So the answer would be negative 3. Okay. Do you guys feel comfortable with order of operations? Do you want to see one that's more complicated, or do you think you want to see one that's... Okay, I think I put... Okay, let's find one that is more difficult. All right, look at number 2. Let's order this together. What is step number 1? Well, first off, what are those? Brackets. What do brackets mean? They're just parentheses, so why use brackets? Well, if you have 2 sets and you make one a bracket, it's a little bit easier to tell where they both begin and they both end. So the shape of the parentheses is not important. We just kind of use 2 different shapes sometimes to make it a little bit more clear. So what is step 1? 10 minus 2, because it is the innermost set of parentheses. And then? Nope, we need to multiply before we subtract. So this would be step 2, and then 3, and then 4. Okay? Now, when you do this, you're allowed to use your calculator, but don't type all that in your calculator. Well, it's really easy to make a mistake. So we need to say 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 times 6 is 42. 42 minus 27 is 17. Wait, that's not right. It would be nice if it's 14, but it's not. So 15, right? Yeah. And then divide that by 7 and I get 15 over 7. Okay. Look at number 4. What is step number 1? So this is step number 1. And then? Well, fractions are a little bit weird. The last step is going to be the division in the fraction. But I need to treat the top of the fraction like its own set of petal, and I need to treat the bottom as its own set. And then when I'm finished with the top and the bottom, then I can divide. But it doesn't really matter if you do the top first or if you do the bottom first. So the first step on the top is subtraction, and then the multiplication would be step 2, and then the addition would be step 3. In the bottom, the exponent is step 1, and the subtraction is step 2. And once I've finished both the numerator and the denominator, I can divide. Does that make sense? So 12 minus 9 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 plus 3 is 24. And then 4 squared is 16. 16 minus 4 is 12. So I get 2. All right, let's look through this and see if how difficult they get. That's about the same. Those are about the same. Ooh, there's a good one. Okay. What is step 1? Yes. She has 3 students in there. So, step 1, that would be step 1. And then step 2, step 3. So, notice this set goes together. So, I would need to do this negative would be 4. And then this multiplication would be 5. And then this subtraction would be 6. Now, you have to be careful. So some of you already started. Watch this. You have to be careful when you do -2 squared. Because in your calculator, oops. Let me pull my calculator over. What is -2 squared? It's 4. But in your calculator, if you type -2 to the second, oh, I pushed the wrong button. So -2 to the second is -4. Why is that? Well, the calculator doesn't make mistakes. I made a mistake. Yes. How did I type it in wrong? You have to put it in parentheses because according to order of operations, -2 squared, what comes first? Subtraction or exponents? Exponents. So the calculator is saying, oh great, I'm going to take 2 and I'm going to square it, and then I'm going to subtract that. So whenever you square a negative or a fraction, you must put it in parentheses or you'll get the wrong answer. Oops. -2 squared. Okay. All right. So -2 squared is 4, and step 2 is subtract 3 equals 1. Step 3 is squaring it, which is 1. And then I make it negative. And then I multiply 4 and -4, and I get -16. And then I have -1 minus -16, so the answer is going to be +15. Okay? All right, get to work.